number's been like that since about the end of World War II. About 75 veterans make failed attempts on their lives every day. What we all need to do is do whatever we can, give whatever we can, of our time, of our treasure, whatever it is, our prayers, that we reduce that number. Old Army buddy of mine, a guy named Dan Fordyce. Late in 2012, Dan wanted to take a group of veterans hunting. He's got a hunting lodge in Mississippi, beautiful place, and searching for the guys to bring hunting. He ran into a guy named Sergeant First Class Charles Williams, Purple Heart recipient, combat wounded, and he told Dan that he could spend all day with a PhD certified counselor and not find the therapeutic value he could get of just hanging out with 5 or 6 guys around the bonfire. Him and his brother Hunter took 6 guys to go deer hunting up at their lodge in Mississippi. And what they thought they were doing was just taking 6 guys hunting, just showing them a good time. But what he found they were doing is saving lives. By bringing guys to the great outdoors, getting them together to get back in the team, and for them to build camaraderie and to bond with folks that they could reach out to as they go through their lifelong journey of healing. There's a Vietnam veteran, combat wounded man named John Bickle, a retired lieutenant colonel. Had gotten out of the Army and had, done some civilian careers and had started a company called Dine Agriculture. What they do is hydroponic vegetable growth and agriculture, fish farms. And he found this spot in Eastern Oregon with a ton of warm water that he thought was a perfect opportunity to grow warm water fish in a cold weather climate. John kind of had a vision of a veteran center. We're going to have job training capabilities for veterans and jobs for veterans, plus jobs for the local community. Approached the owners of the place called Hot Lake Springs. They said, yeah, that sounds great. Our vision of the Veterans Restorative Care Center is quite a few things. And the first thing is to restore Hot Lake Springs into a place of healing that it was way back when in the early 1900s.
Hot Lake Springs is one of the most historical sites in the whole area, in the whole Northwest for sure. It goes way, way back to the early 1800s, even the 1700s, where 12 Indian tribes resided in complete peace. And then Marie Dorian led the white people through and carved out the Oregon Trail right here. It sits right on the Oregon Trail. It's the site of the hottest, highest producing hot springs in the world, 208 degrees, 3 million gallons a day. It housed a state-of-the-art surgery center. Probably the beginnings of that was from the healing natures of the hot water and introduced by the native tribes.
Our vision is to make this kind of an all-inclusive resort for veterans. With the recreational therapy we do, the team building. Along with that, bring in naturopathic medicine, natural medicine from the University of Natural Medicine in Portland, using this as a clinic and a place for residency for their students to come out and try a different way of healing veterans.
My neck is fused, C2 through C7. It was caused in the military. I was in a tank accident. My legs are totally numb, they're gone, and there's no pulse in my lower legs. So I'm thinking possibly it's worth a try to try this stuff here. it's worth a try.
I sat down 3 years ago with a number of them, and we had lunch, and they're having the same symptoms and issues I'm having. And it's not exactly been easy.
We were maneuvering at high speed. The jolting of the track sprung the hatch, and my head was in the way. I got slammed. You know, they cut you ear to ear, they pull this all down, take out the broken stuff, and explore, drill, wire. I need help.
I might have not been in any of the conflict, but each time when those conflicts came up, I had hundreds of guys sitting in front of me talking to me about family and, you know, what happened if something happens. We making sure those records are taken care of, that your family gonna be taken care of. It's just a lot of things goes in somebody's head. You can't just tell a book by its cover. There's something in those covers.
I was half awake, half asleep when someone said, incoming. The last thing I remember was a pilot who see if I was still breathing. I thank God I was not killed.
You know, he was successful. He had lots of friends. He was a businessman. And then slowly, you know, the flashbacks and the trauma of what he had been through started coming through. He did attend many PTSD clinics, and for a short time they would work. But he also was very medicated. February of 2014, he ultimately took his life.
PTSD does not go away. People learn how to live with it and learn how they have to cope with it. So we took this weekend as an opportunity, first and foremost, to help the 6 veterans that we have here, but also to see if what we're doing is on the right track.
Conventional modern medicine is science-based medicine. Naturopathic medicine, as we call it, tries to be a bridge between that, because we have to work within that paradigm. We're licensed within that paradigm, and the roots of the medicine, the thousands of years of wisdom and knowledge. We think of them as tools. There's different tools to use at different times. If somebody needs a medication, we're not saying no. We're saying, okay, let's give it to you. If you need it again and again and again, there's something else. Maybe this is when we're gonna go to the root of traditional healing and look at why would a body do that? I think the patient knows. There is fantastic wisdom in the person, in the veterans that I've met. Each one knew how they could be helped, and they told us this. What I've learned is that this population, the veterans, are capable of healing at much faster rates than perhaps I thought. They've gone through trauma. There's a lot that happened here. And when you focus on building somebody up rather than focusing on the trauma, I find it quite inspiring.
I went from pain to feeling terrific inside of 5 minutes. And so what a difference it makes.
There's a lot of things we can learn from our history, and a lot of things we should know about our history and not repeat. But that history of this place, of what it is and what it was, it's built into its bones. And the water you know, it turns this place into what it originally was designed to do, and that's heal people.
I'm going to talk to a veteran. They're going to want to hear something from another veteran. They're not going to want to hear it from somebody that's never been there, never done that. I can actually say, I am a veteran, I'm a disabled veteran, I went to the program, and this is how it helped.
This place is a good spot because it's not around a lot of people. The springs, the hot springs itself is a good thing. It's quiet. It's more where everybody can sit and talk, more relaxed, no pressure, which is a very important thing.
Humanity has to come together when it sees pain, and I see pain, and I see opportunity, and I see hope. And people may not all be able to help the same way, but I call on anybody that is in the community, just get to know, get interested, know about this work, know about what is possible.
When you have a dream, you have to do something to make that dream a reality. And to make it that reality, what does it take? It takes people and resources. And when I talk about resources, I'm talking about funding. We've got a lot of veterans out there who need to move on with their lives, and we think we can help them with that.